I'm 2 minutes late. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Welcome everybody to the November 16th meeting of the Temple Terrace Community Redevelopment Agency. I have heard from Councilmember Schisler. He is on his way from downtown Tampa. He's out of a meeting down there, so he will be joining us as soon as he can get through the traffic, but he did ask us to go ahead without him, and he'll be here before the meeting is over. So, first item of business is to approve the minutes of our previous meeting of October the 19th.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there discussion on the minutes? If not, all those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No nays. The minutes are adopted. Next item is Business Relations Manager Greg Pauley will present a status update on the city's CRA. Welcome, Mr. Pauley.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you. Greg Pauley, Business Relations Manager, with a update for the CRA. As you know, we are required to hold at least 4 regularly scheduled meetings per year for the CRA. Tonight is the first of the 4 that are scheduled. There you see February 15th, May 17th, August 16th, all on Tuesdays prior to the council meetings at 5 p.m. right here in this room. Of course, additional meetings can be added to that schedule as needed. Oops, I'm sorry. Something happened there.
I'll sign this one too.
All right, looks like we're back on track here. The Temple Terrace redevelopment area was originally formed in September of 1999. It consists of 225 acres centered at the crossroads of Bush Boulevard and North 56th Street. You can see the icon there in the lower left of the image, and you can barely make out the winding city boundaries throughout the rest of the image. Zooming in on the redevelopment area, you can see the boundaries run to the west to the border of Tampa, to the north to 98th Avenue, to the east to Ridgedale Road, and to the south to the Hillsborough River. This slide shows a quick snapshot of the fiscal 2022 CRA budget with budgeted revenues from Hillsborough County and the Tampa Port Authority equal to $322,136. And city revenue transfers equal to $362,201 for a total budgeted revenue $684,337 with the equivalent amount expensed from the CRA budget to the general fund. In my last CRA update, you'll remember that I mentioned the Health Hub new facility that was being added to the CVS located at 110 Bullard Parkway. This project is now complete. They finished up about 2 weeks ago. And the Health Hub inside the CVS, all the way at the back of the store, provides on-site diagnostic services, treatment for common illnesses and conditions, physical health, mental health, and nutritional services. And as I mentioned, that finished up just a little more than 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now. Projects that I'm tracking for you tonight are the Fountain Shops at Temple Terrace, Waverly Terrace Luxury Apartments, the Enigma Plaza, Salem's Fresh Eats QSR, the Silvio Palms Residential Project, and the new project on the list is the Grow Hope Village Project. First project in the review is the Fountain Shops at Temple Terrace. This project sits on 2.5 acres in the southeast quadrant, right at the southeast corner of 56th Street and Bullard Parkway. The developer for this project is Paragon Property Group. Construction began in October of 2020. First business, that being Chase Bank, opened in July of 2021. And when complete, this project will bring a little more than 21,000 square feet of commercial space for retail, dining, banking, and professional offices. This developer invested $3.6 million into the land and budgeted $3.4 million for improvements. I will share with you that the message I'm getting from most of our developers is those original budgeted amounts are going to have to be adjusted upward as material costs continue to rise and sourcing continues to be a delay. The right image here is the Chase Bank. Next to that, that, by the way, is what we would refer to as Building A. Next to that, to the left, is Building B, moving to the south. In my previous updates, you heard me refer to a spa facility and an ice cream shop. We now have names to attach to those businesses. These businesses are at one stage or another through an application or permitting process. I believe the Hand and Stone Spa, there's actually interior build-out underway at this time. The Abbott's Custard has just initiated some permitting applications through our Community Development Department. So you can kind of get a feel for what that's going to look like when it's finished. You have AT&T right there next to Chase Bank. AT&T, as you recall, opened in August, so they've been open for a bit now. And then you have the other two just getting started with their interior work. Moving a little further south to towards the other end of the plaza, we have Building C, which will be occupied solely by the Rockin' Crab Seafood Restaurant. The Rockin' Crab interior build-out is underway at this time. I've reached out to the developer to try to get an idea of when they might be finished, and at this point, they're not able to give us a finish date on that. But when they do, that would be another opportunity to do a bit of a celebration for them, because that's going to be a very nice facility moving in there, very nice restaurant moving in there. Next building to the south, this is the same building that is currently occupied on the south end by Starbucks. We have Jersey Mike's Subs. Again, they've just started some interior work in there. Nothing too advanced as of yet, so it's too early to get a timeline for their completion. Next, I'm sorry.
Where's the other building that the dental office is going?
That building hasn't actually been started yet. That building is going to go, let me back up a couple slides and I'll try to put you right on it. Okay. Where I'm standing, the camera position in this picture is where that other building would be. So it's gonna have road frontage along Bullard Parkway directly across from the CVS. It's almost across from the firehouse, from the fire station.
Okay.
So it's going to be up on that corner. But again, they have not broken ground. We don't have an application for that particular building as of yet. The next project to discuss for review is the Waverly Terrace apartment community. This project, as you recall, sits on 4.85 acres in the southeast quadrant immediately to the east of the Fountain Shops. The developer here is the Richmond Group of Florida. The project includes 200 residential units spread throughout two four-story residential buildings, separated by a community clubhouse and a community pool. The developer invested $3 million into the land and budgeted initially $21 million. Again, they're all telling me these numbers are creeping upward. This is probably the project that's being challenged the most right now through sourcing of materials and increase in the market values of those materials. I spoke to the project manager just the other day. They are leveraging as much as they can within their company to get this project done. If you recall from earlier estimates, they were hoping to be very, very close to done this time. And they're obviously not going to hit that target date. They've had to postpone that target date once. Now we're having to postpone it again. Still too premature to give you a hard date for a grand opening for that property, but they are definitely moving forward.
They give you any kind of a soft date, an estimate, January, nothing?
No, they've been hit a couple times through multiple delays, and everybody's a little kind of stepped back a little bit to submitting a hard date for that reason. Okay, can we go back? Here we go. This project began in March of 2020, and as the slide I mentioned a moment ago, material sourcing continues to delay progress moving forward. This picture, by the way, is current appearance of the north building. This is a current shot of the south building. And this is a current shot of the clubhouse. Just an update on the clubhouse. Interior finishing work is underway at this time. Directly behind the clubhouse is the pool, surrounded by a paver pool deck. The paver installation is wrapping up. Interior lighting fixtures and flooring installation is underway. One of the key things that's been delayed for sourcing issues, material sourcing issues. TECO meter releases have begun within several of the areas. The buildings all now have finished and completed roofs. The south exterior siding, which was a previous delay, they have received an order of siding that they believe they'll be able to finish that south building exterior siding in the very near future. And they're also working on asphalt work outside and around their property, and hope to be able to stripe their asphalt coming up within the next week or two. And we still get calls on this, so I want to keep this slide in the presentation for anyone interested that may be watching at home or in the audience tonight. Folks that want to learn more about this property or possibly want to inquire about leasing opportunities, they can visit Waverly Terrace apps.com or visit they have a very active Instagram site at Waverly Terrace Apartments. So I encourage anyone that's interested to visit one of those two options. Next up is the Enigma Plaza. The developer here is Enigma Realtors. This project sits on 2 acres in the southeast quadrant at the southeast corner of 56th Street and Chicago Avenue. Project involves the redevelopment of a pre-existing structure at 8633 North 56th Street into 34,000 square feet of retail space and retail and dining space. This is the project that is being completely renovated on all 4 sides. As you can see from this image, they've started to cut out. This image shows the front of the building, but I have another image to show the rest of the surrounding walls. Site plan was approved in April of this year. Exterior walls are being converted to storefronts and retail windows. This developer invested $1.5 million into the land and originally budgeted $1.3 million for improvements. This slide shows 3 different images from different areas. The top left is the rear of the building, which was formerly all solid wall. That would be the east side. You can see that the columns have been completed, the headers have all been installed, and they're preparing that 4-way walk-around storefront look. The image directly below it, the bottom left, shows the front and north side of the building, the front being the west side or 56th Street side. In the image to the right, it was taken just last week, however, it's already outdated. It shows the wall, but what I was actually focusing on here was the extended foundation work that's underway. They have to extend the foundation in order to build that walk-around covered veranda that goes around the building. So that's what you're seeing here. I learned just this afternoon from Mr. Anisi that some of the concrete's already been poured to finish that area. Moving back over to Bush Boulevard. This is the Salem's Quick Service Restaurant being built in front of Tampa Mall at 5400 East Bush Boulevard, sitting on a 0.61 acre out parcel. Construction here began in January of 2021. Initial improvement investment, about $600,000. Here's a little bit tighter shot, shows the exterior structure is complete. The interior build out is well underway, and surprisingly enough, this one is tracking very close to its original schedule. Scheduled to finish up by the end of the year or at the latest, the very first part of next year. Silvio Palms is the next in the list of updates. This, if you recall, is the 2.4 acres located in the northwest quadrant at Temple Heights Road and Overlook Drive. This is a Habitat for Humanity residential project that involves 12 single-family homes with a centrally located community park. Site preparation, new roadway, and underground infrastructure have all been completed. The images here on this slide show the new roadway. The shot on the left shows from the roadway looking to the north, and the shot on the right is just turned in the position looking to the south. You can see the sites have all been cleared, ready for development. You can even start to make out some of the utility stubs that are on at each of the sites. Habitat invested $360K in the land. Habitat reached out to me this morning to update their anticipated development cost. So that 2.42 million is up quite a bit from their previous estimate, and that does accommodate for current market prices that they've kind of now cooked into that figure. This is from their most recent application. They have several options, but this is just one of the options for the single story. This is a front elevation for their one-story single-family residential model. And here's the comparative two-story model. Next is the Grow Hope Village. This is the brand-new project that was added to the list. Also a Habitat for Humanity project. Here, Habitat seeks to develop the 0.61 acre outparcel. I'm sorry, it's not an outparcel. Excuse me. 0.61 acre parcel on Overlook Drive immediately north of Grow Financial on Bush Boulevard. I think you'll recall this came to you for first read rezone at the last meeting, and if I'm correct, it's coming again tonight for a second read. But that's just the street view of that parcel, what it currently looks like. The city continues to hold 3 additional parcels in the CRA, 8901 North 56th Street, 8447 North 56th Street, and 205 South River Hills Drive, all located in the southeast quadrant. 8901 is a 1.7 acre parcel immediately west of Waverly Terrace and immediately south of the Fountain Shops Plaza. This remains listed with our commercial broker and is currently listed for $2 million. We have at least one party that has expressed interest in this parcel, but at this point it is still very early, so we're not prepared to bring a proposal forward, but our broker is in active discussion with at least one party that's interested in this parcel. That's the street view of the same parcel. Next up is 8447 North 56th Street. This is the old restaurant structure sitting on 1.74 acres, southeast quadrant. It's immediately south of the Enigma Plaza. As you recall, 2 developers recently submitted proposals. Both developers were asked to go back and take a second look at those proposals to see if they could propose a project more acceptable and more conducive to the community and the city. That's what currently sits on the parcel. And the last parcel, this is the 205 South River Hills Riverside parcel. This is the particular property that is under consideration for other public use. I spoke to Mr. Langfeld recently. He is currently entertaining quotes to clear that land and start to transition that parcel into something more that would support a more public-friendly green space. And that is the street view of the 205 South River Hills.
Does that more public-friendly green space, does that still include a paddle park that we talked about?
I believe it does, yes. Yes. And with that said, I don't know where this frog in my throat came from. I'd be happy to entertain any questions. I'm good right now.
Councilmember Abel.
So for the parcel at 8901 North
Mhm.
56th Street, you said that right now it's posted for sale for 2 million.
Yes.
Is that trending up or trending down from previous?
It's actually trending up. It was originally listed at 2 million. We started to entertain, now when I say started, I'm talking a couple of years ago. We started to entertain potential offers that were lower than that. But with the increased property values around it, it is now going back the other direction.
Okay. Another one. One more question?
You still have the floor, go ahead.
Yes, thanks. So the paddle park slash increased green space area, you said that Mr. Langfeld is looking for proposals for clearing it. And this might not be your question, but it's not going to be totally cleared, right? We're going to keep a lot of trees there, just the scrubby stuff is what's...
I think it's the scrubby stuff. The stuff that's, I mean, it's a beautiful space, but there is a lot of overgrown areas that would preclude a safe, enjoyable outdoor experience, and I think that's what he's looking at.
Thank you.
Have you thought about hiring some goats?
That would be a question for Mr. Langfeld. I'm going to stay away from the goat question.
Well, they do it in Oregon. They
Oh, they do it here.
pin off areas and then
Tico does it at their solar farms.
cheap way to get rid of all.
And that was not a plug for Tico, by the way.
Other questions? Good? Good?
Thank you.
That's it?
That's
Okay.
it. Thank you very
Very
much.
good. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Pauly. Is there other business to come before the CRA?
Yeah, we-
Apologize for being late.
That's quite all right. We understand. Did you have any questions from the beginning that you didn't miss a lot, I don't think, but,
good.
okay. Very good. City manager, anything?
No, we're actively engaged in having conversations with Terrace, obviously. With all the anticipation of those apartments opening up and what it could do to businesses and certainly the other land around there.
Microphone. Charles,
the
microphone.
microphone's not
Microphone?
on.
We're certainly anticipating, them getting opened up and getting a marketing program going on. And I do think, and I still continue to be comfortable that that's going to change the dynamics down there. So we got to be patient. I can tell you this, that they've gotten meter releases on the clubhouse and the building to the north, which is a good indication because that's usually when things are getting to a point of getting tied up on the inside and checks and balances done on the equipment on the inside. So that's a good start to getting the thing completed. So
Yeah, I think you're right. I think once we get those apartments occupied, that's gonna accelerate interest in those other parcels. And
it will generate a lot of activity.
yeah, our broker's been saying the same thing for a long time too, so. Okey-dokey. City attorney? You good, anybody? If not, we'll stand adjourned until 6 o'clock.